Hey everybody, and welcome to another review on my channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Mega Pokemon set called the Holiday Pokémon Train. This set comes with 373 pieces and is recommended for ages 7 and up. This set also comes with 4 pretty adorable brick-built Pokemon that we're going to be taking a look at right now. And we're going to start things off by taking a look at Pikachu first. And all things considered, this is actually a pretty standard Pikachu that Mega has been making for the last couple years. Pikachu does have a pretty standard face print and some printing on the ears, which looks really great. But the thing that's going to make this Pikachu special is the Santa hat that is on top of his head. As we make our way around to the back of Pikachu, you can see that he has a specialized tail piece that has some printing on it, which looks really good as well. And then there is also some printing on the back of Pikachu too. The Santa hat that comes with Pikachu is its own special piece that has a couple of slits in it to fit right over his ears. And I will say that surprisingly, the Santa hat fits pretty dang well. One of the things that I found rather surprising is you can actually articulate Pikachu's ears. And as I moved to the ears down, I was expecting the Santa hat to fall right off, but you can see that it's actually staying in place rather well. I even take Pikachu here and shake him around, and you can see the Santa hat is securely on his head. So props to Mega for making this piece fit extremely well. The next Pokemon we're going to be taking a look at is Charmander. And this is a pretty common and standard Pokemon that appears in Mega Construct sets. And unfortunately, there isn't really anything that is going to make this Charmander too special. But he does have a rather cute smiling face print, and you can see some pretty good printed detail on the toes of this Pokemon. As we turn Charmander to the side and start making our way to the back of the Pokemon, there is no more printed detail to be seen. But I do like how Mega designed this Pokemon's tail with the little flame at the end. It looks pretty cute. The next Pokemon we're going to be taking a look at is Squirtle, who has a really cute looking smiling face print with both of his eyes closed, and I think it looks really great. You can see some pretty nice printed detail on the chest of Squirtle. I think that looks really good too. And as we make our way around to the side of the Pokemon, you can see that there's also a little bit of printing on the tip of his tail. And I've said it before and I'm going to say it again, I'm not really the biggest fan of how Mega designed Squirtle's tail. For me personally, I would like to see Mega create a unique molded piece that fits the shape of Squirtle's tail. Kind of like how they did with the Pikachu we took a look at earlier. The biggest reason why I think this would be a good idea is if we take a look at Squirtle's tail from the other side, you can see it just looks a little awkward and out of place. Squirtle does come with some pretty good printed detail on the back of his shell, however. And other than that minor complaint that I had, I do think it is a pretty decent looking Pokemon. The last Pokemon that we're going to be taking a look at is Bulbasaur. And again, this is a pretty common Pokemon that is included in Mega sets. But with that being said, this is a pretty solid brick-built Pokemon design. Bulbasaur does come with a winking facial expression that I think looks really cute. You can see that this Pokemon does have some printed detail for the tip of his toes and some printing on the side of the Pokemon as well. As we take Bulbasaur and spin him around to the back, you can also see that there is some printed detail on his legs as well. And I think that the bulb on his back is an appropriate size and looks good. I do find it rather interesting that Mega included 4 really common Pokemon that come in a good variety of sets already, especially when there's a Pokemon like Delibird that would be absolutely appropriate for this holiday themed set. But with all the Pokemon out of the way, we're ready to talk about the Holiday Train, which I think is a pretty solid design all things considered. The train is made up of 4 different parts, each with its own Christmas themed design. We're going to start by taking a look at the front of the train, which has this really nice printed Pokeball piece right in the center. I like this design choice as it makes it feel like it's actually part of the Pokemon universe. As we make our way to the side of the train, you can see that there's a candy cane that is clipped to the side, and the train is also green and red, which fits the Christmas theme very well. You can also see gold railing found on each side of the train. I like this color choice as it fits the overall aesthetic of the build well. There's not really a lot of detail to be seen on the back of the train here, but you can see that on the other side there is another candy cane and gold rail. You can also see the chimney of the train is also in that same gold color. The way Mega designed the smoke coming out of the chimney is that it's made of this rubberized tube with some pieces attached to it. At first I thought this was a very awkward looking design, but it has grown on me and I actually like its overall aesthetic. The only downside about the train's design is that it is rather hard to fit a Pokemon inside. You can see that I'm trying to take Pikachu and fit him inside the train, but the tail is getting in the way, and once I do get Pikachu inside, it's rather hard to line him up with the studs to have him stand up. It is a little bit easier to fit Squirtle inside of the train, but I would have liked to have seen this process be a little bit more smooth. Instead, you're going to have to remove part of the trainer Pokemon to make it easy for them to fit inside. The second train cart is rather simple looking. You can see that there is a trumpet in the front of the cart and then a couple of brick-built presents. Other than that, this cart really doesn't have a lot going for it. And while I do like the overall look and design of the presents, I do wish that they had some sort of bow piece on top to make them feel more like actual gifts. Instead, Mega decided to put a single red stud on top of the gifts, which I don't think looks as good as an actual brick-built bow or bow piece. There is plenty of room for Pokemon, and they can actually hold the trumpet that is included. The next cart I really like the design of. It is a very simple but charming looking gingerbread house. The circular pieces on the side here are prints. They do come in different colors, which is a nice detail. As we make our way around to the side of the build, you can see that it is a rather spacious design, and I do like the alternating red and green colors on the roof. Thanks to the spacious design, you are going to be able to fit Pokemon like Squirtle inside rather easily, but as you can see, I'm trying to fit Bulbasaur in, and it is just not going to happen. And while I do like the design of the train, I do wish it was just a little bit bigger so it could fit all of the Pokemon that are included. But with that being said, we're going to take a look at the last train cart, which has a very simple Christmas tree build. and I do like the overall look of this build. However, I do wish that there was a star piece at the top of the tree instead of just a plain simple yellow stud, but it does have some charm in its own right. If we take a look at the train cart from a top-down perspective, you can see that there's a little tiled space here, and that area is designed to hold Bulbasaur, so I am glad that Mega did include a space for him on this train. With the way that the train is designed, you can easily mix and match the carts of the train. I think this is a really cool detail, as you can make the train longer or shorter, and put the train carts in any order you wish for customization options. And while I do feel like that this is a necessary inclusion for a brick-built train, it is nice to see Mega include this detail, and they also included a clip at the end of the train so you can make it even longer if you buy multiple copies of this set, or you can use your creative freedom to extend the train and build your own carts. Looking online, the price for the Holiday Pokémon Train varies widely in price. Personally, I wouldn't want to pay more than $25 to $30 for this set, as I feel like it doesn't really offer anything unique that you can't find in other Mega sets. But if you don't have any of these Pokemon and you want a pretty cute looking Christmas themed build, like I said, I do feel like this set does have some value. Thank you so much for watching my review, and be sure to like the video and subscribe for more brick built reviews.